Merry Christmas! And welcome back to an episode of Schelly's Shop. This is going to be our Christmas special. I'm all the way in Muskoka, Ontario with my family, and we're going to enjoy a nice relaxing day of going around the shop, showing off everything. My dad, Mr. Schelly Shop Senior, and my wife, Mrs. Schelly Shop, and we're just going to show you all our projects we have accrued over the years. My father and I started building trucks, I'm going to say 15 years back, and we've been building them in Ontario and for Alberta, and we've been driving them from Alberta to Ontario and just having fun with it. We've got a small little fleet of vehicles, and we just want to show you guys what we got here at the Schelly Shop Honey Farm. So Merry Christmas
and Happy New Year.
Paul's new air compressor, Christmas present to himself. We gotta get that tire inflated in Opa's car so we can get it out of here and get the 69 out. Christmas spirit. Fully restored $75,000 truck, just tires leaned up on it. Squirrel made a nest up here. Have you seen this truck? Big block power, baby! Merry Christmas to you! Right, Mr. Schelly Shop, shall we open this up?
Yep.
How long have you had this one done, Paul?
A year.
A year?
Coming up.
The color's grown on me so much.
Look at that.
Truck you told me not to do.
Pardon me?
Truck you told me not to do.
Well, you did it. You did a good job at it. Like, this is going to show how nice of a job you did.
Buddy buckets.
Like, you just went through the whole interior too. It's all painted the one color. You put that hush mat around it, didn't you?
Yeah. Touch mat.
Look at that. It's all covered. That's cool. Look at you even got like this alternator all painted all black. I think he's gonna fire it up now. The AC is I like this truck. This truck is really, really, really nice. He finally treated himself to something that's truly special. So something else, eh? So we got any plans for this one, or is this kind of done for you?
No, I want to finish the original. But they put the AC in it.
Yeah.
Similar car. And the one with the cam. And the little set heads on.
Pretty nice. And I think you told me last night header too, right? Yeah. It's got a TH400 in it. And this thing runs hard. It runs good. You let me drive it this summer, and whoo-wee! That was fun. Yeah. Like, they went so far as they even paint down into the firewall, the inner wheel fenders. The AC is all nicely redone. Like, my dad's is a boat mechanic, so he knows carbureted engines really well. Actually, this carburetor we put on a 350 small block Chev that I was driving across the country in the 76 Monte Carlo. It's a 750 Brawler. Yeah, and it did not run very well. That's a whole story. I'll tell you about that in a minute. This is the nicest one you've ever owned?
Yeah. For finish quality. Besides the 69 what they give to you, which I bought 2,800 miles on, 89.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that truck. And I like the buddy buckets. I'm a huge fan of them, but
Cold.
she's cold. Well, it's fairly cold out here.
It's winter.
Can you see yourself in a nice hot rod like this?
Yeah.
Instead of the one or two, instead of the normal Schelly Shop specials. All right, we're gonna put this one back in the stable.
Yep.
Putting her away again. Just pulled it out for you guys. All put away. What month do you typically pull them out to start driving them again?
Salt's off the road.
Whenever the salt's off the road, yeah.
After a couple good rainfalls.
You know, Nicole, we drove this car all the way across the country, and now it's a ledge for Pa's stuff. Fun times. It was good old Monte. 1976 Monte Carlo. I drove this thing 3,400 kilometers to deliver it for you, just so you have a nice big wide open workbench, Pa.
Really?
Remember when I went and bought all those California parts for the 69?
Yeah.
And that rust-free, dent-free hood. I came back and I had stuff all over the hood. Man, when you got under my skin that time.
What do you think about your ride?
Yeah, like that's all original. Like there's some wear marks on it, but little places around. But this thing is super clean, a one-owner car until my dad and I bought it. Elegance. So we bought this car in Fort Saskatchewan, Alberta, and I came up on Marketplace with absolutely no motor, and it had a 400 small block that was supposed to have been machined and ready to be reassembled. It was January of 2023. Yeah, 2023, and we struck a deal on it. When I showed up to look at the car, the snow banks were piled up to here. It was on a jack stand, no engine, and the guys out in the shop were walking out and taking a leak inside the car. Well, my dad's like, make sure you look all underneath it. Lucky I love you, Paul, because I had to get down on my hands and knees and crawl through piss-covered snow to look underneath. And this car is almost rust-free. Yeah. So then it sat at that place until mid-spring. Yeah, it was like snow was gone anyways, and then we went and got it. We ended up, instead of reassembling the engine, we put a TDI 350 in it, and then we cannonballed it straight from Alberta to here. I drove it myself, and
Where's here?
Muskoka, Ontario. Yeah, I've been hunting this car for a long time.
Yeah, about 95. I pulled my old one. 89. Jet black. Center line. I was 454. 4-gear. And times were tight. Had to go build a house. Have a family. I cursed him.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you.
But anyway,
Yeah.
I always wanted one again. He found it.
And out west, the cars are really clean. This is a true one-owner car. That's the documentation would say. Yeah, and he's still at 400. We don't really know what we're gonna do with it. This thing runs too good. We got this dirt cheap engine off my brother-in-law. It's a 350 thing. Runs like a top. Like you can hear it. It's not a single beep or squeak out of it. It's great. So it's almost a shame to rip it back out. We had an interesting drive across the country with it, didn't we? Yeah. I broke down and was stuck in Moosomin, Saskatchewan for 3 days while my dad drove up in his brand new truck all the way up. So I was not even halfway, and I was stuck in Saskatchewan for 3 days trying to troubleshoot this thing. Turns out it was a few little tiny things that contributed to the car being inoperable. But we managed to get it. Second I hand the keys to him, the car ran like a top for, what was it, 2,000 kilometers? Yeah. Like 2,000 kilometers. He drove the car without a single problem. And here's under the hood. I'm happy I found this car for you. I know you've got a bit of a sore spot with it because of the problems we have with it, but ever since you got it, it's been deadly reliable.
Perfect.
It had the original muffler on it. Oh, I blew that up though. I went to start it up before I left Moosin in Saskatchewan, and it grenaded and just opened up. So I drove it 1,000 kilometers with an open muffler. Why'd you doing that? Is that ground?
It's in the Christmas spirit.
It looks like the alternator's doing that now. Yeah.
There's a story behind the deer head. My grandfather shot this buck in our area in Severn Bridge, Ontario in 1914. So my uncle brought it down to me and gave it to me.
How long ago was that?
Late November.
Of this year?
Yeah, this year. So I put it in the car before I put the car away.
Yeah.
Had to take it for a ride.
Yeah, I gotta take
So,
it for a ride.
I just leave him here.
Yeah. No, he startled me when I didn't see it until Nicole pointed at it. When I was sitting in the driver's seat, I look over, it actually startled me. 1914, man, that's amazing. It's in good shape for 1914.
Yep.
It's a big buck too.
Right out. Crammed in there tight.
On the wall. Yeah, that's it. I know this truck looks like a handful, but this truck is actually really, really good. I started dismantling it before I knew what I was doing. This is the first one I ever tried to restore in 2008, I think it was, Pop?
Yeah.
Ripped it all apart. Then I moved out of province, and it's kind of been my dad's problem ever since. But we have full intentions to restore this back to factory specs. And yeah, that's an end goal of mine. I don't plan to do it in the next 10, 15 years. It'll be probably when I'm in my 50s, I'll do it then, and so I can do it properly, fully restored, like my dad's 69. This is a 1969 GMC 920. It's a 3/4 ton two-wheel drive. With the Farmer 4,
Yeah.
this thing right here, it doesn't slow down. You can keep going through the gears. The speedometer goes up and the fuel gauge runs down. When they meet, when the fuel gauge and the speedo meet, that's when you get the trifecta of perfect power. I was putting some fuel down the choke hole. That's about all this one will need to fire up, eh? Hey, Dad?
Yeah.
It's
In neutral?
yeah, it's a neutral.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, give me a minute. There now. Okay. Give me a minute.
I can't wait till when my wife and I get to the stage where we'll pull this into Schelly's shop and we'll strip it down and do a full sandblast and full repaint. It's going to be again, a long time, but it is going to get done. I'd like it done while Dad and I are still doing this together. Let's talk about it here. Paul, tell us about that boot there.
Oh. Here. Tiny shoe hanging off center there. It's Jordan's first boot. So I figured hang it in there. It's been there since I owned the truck, and while he grew up, still there. It's his.
Yeah, I like that. I want to have one for my kids. in my trucks. So yeah. Yeah, talking about things that have been around a long time. I actually learned to drive in this truck, and I grew up pretty handy with vehicles. But this thing is non-power brakes, non-power steering. We were running down the road in this thing. I'm what must have been like 8,
9,
10, something
maybe.
like that.
Yeah.
Just a kid, right? And I'm just like very scrawny. I'm like a wiry little bugger. So I'm driving down the road. Dad's in the passenger seat, and I go to turn off of one road on a 90-degree turn at a 4-corner. I go to turn, and I wasn't turning quick enough. I remember Dad, we were heading straight for the ditch, and these are deep ditches. They're got to be 6 feet. So we're trying to turn left. Dad jumps across, grabs the steering wheel, just reefs the whole truck. The truck stalls out, and one tire was down in the ditch. His eyes were just, because his baby was about to get wrecked. Is that how you remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot nicer shape then. It's got a lot of history behind the truck.
Yeah.
I had to sell it to my father, which he was a farmer. You know what farmers do? They put a fifth wheel hitch in it and tow hay bales on a fifth wheel. Well, went from that to fifth wheel hauling wood. And basically he beat the living snot out of it. He blew the motor. So we pulled the motor and it'd be 97, 96, and totally had it rebuilt. I put it all back together. I had my buddy come over. We totally stripped the truck, original paint, down to bare metal. We redone the whole thing, put it all back together, to get back to my dad. He sort of looked after it for about 8 months. Then he started hauling wood again.
Hauling wood, yeah.
And it took a good beat. But it runs good. My son bought a box for it. What's mint?
It is.
The rest of the truck is solid.
It is, yeah.
It's a worthy truck of re-putting back together.
Well, it's got one small hole on the driver left-hand foot, and other than that, it's rust-free. We got new doors for it that are not new. We got rust-free doors for it scattered about. We got multiple sets of rust-free doors. We got a good front clip. The hood on it's probably the best one we own.
Yeah.
And the box is really, really good. We had an absolutely mint tailgate.
Yeah.
And then somebody drove the plow truck into it. It's still salvageable.
Twice talking to him on the phone.
And he blamed me for some reason.
Has to be his fault. Everything is.
We're gonna do this truck. It's gonna be done right. The interior, it's got 1,000 million miles on it now. You unplug the speedometer at 999.99.
Yeah.
So
and it's probably went since then maybe 300 miles
yeah,
between the two of us.
yeah.
Besides that, it's all there. It needs to be redone and put back together.
Yep, and we'll get there. Yeah. And I actually put a bunch of miles on this thing before I was allowed to be on the road with all that. Yeah, yeah. No, we had a lot of good times in this truck. But when I got the truck, it looked like a team of baseball team kids beat the living tar out of it. Everything was dented. There wasn't a lot of rust on the truck. Just every surface had a dent in it from blocks of wood flying at it or what have you. The only thing that's not dented was the roof, and that was a miracle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the fact that they salvaged, they didn't dent up the roof, made this truck able to be restored. This truck, before we put it inside, people would drive in and offer to buy it off him. He had offered him $10,000. That's before the market went hot. That's how clean this truck is. People will come in, walk up, have a look at it, and start throwing offers at him. He'd call me when I was living in what province at the time, I don't remember. Hey, Jordan, he said, you want to sell Old Blue? I was like, no, we can't, Dad. We've had it way too long. I want my kids to have this truck. This thing runs like a top. When you got the engine rebuilt, didn't you put a stamp in it so you knew it was yours?
Yeah, stamp front motor HM.
Yeah.
My initial.
Yeah.
Well, originally this truck was bought in Bracebridge, Ontario by Leo Grubb. And 5 of them went in on buying it. It only went on the road in the fall with a camper in it to go deer hunting for 1 week and drove back and parked. So it really didn't ever see winter. If it snowed when it came home, that'd be about the only time. But it had 2,800 miles on it when I purchased it, and he made me pay $2,800.
That's a bargain.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we shut her down and put her back in cold storage?
Okay.
it was good to stretch its legs a little bit. The reason why we didn't pull this one out is because the back brakes have been sticking up on it for years. If you drive it around, it'll break free and you can drive the truck, but today it just didn't seem worthwhile to yank it out. Yep, good. When you're good, you're good. Really taking good care of our equipment here.
Yeah.
This frame doesn't look like much, but this is a factory 1967 Chevy C10 short box frame that we bought in New Brunswick, which is the opposite side of, it's 1,400 kilometers from here. We managed to tow it back with a U-Haul, and we've been collecting parts to build the 67 Chevy short box for my dad. It's a joint build, but it'll be his property when it's all done. On this trailer over here is kind of the cab and all the body panels we do have. The bed floor. Sorry?
Brand new motor.
Oh yeah, we got an LS in there. We're not sure if we're going to use it, but it's there. And a transmission too.
Tranny, cab, hood.
All the panels we have.
Yeah.
And a lot of it will get switched out, but the cab is fully rust prepared. And yeah, we had it mocked up this year. I'll show the picture of that right now. It all mocked up here.
We just landed from Alberta. We're offloading the cab. We're setting it down on the short box frame now. It's lining up pretty good. Here we got the cab sitting down, the front clip on. Everything looks pretty good. Doors, front fenders are pretty decent. We'd like to get the box sides. They're in Alberta still. Here you can see the brand new floor, cab corner, and rocker all done.
And then we stripped it back down. We were going to get everything sandblasted, and then life got in the way, but it'll be done. So there's no real time limit on when we're going to get this one done, but it keeps switching. First we were going to go full restore, but now he already did his restoration. So now he's getting all gun shy. He's like, oh, I don't want to do another one. There's too much work.
I have plans to pull the frame out in March and take it to the sandblaster and have it painted.
Yeah.
So we can start putting the motor drivetrain together. From there, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Well, we got that on camera, so.
Yeah, so this is, like I said, this is a joint build. I'm kind of taking care of the body panels and getting everything lined up, and Dad's doing the driveline, which is his specialty. This thing will be a monster when it's done. Yeah.
And we got 6 liter. It's pushing about 600 horse. What train? We don't know if we're going with 700R or what's
the 4080.
Or the 4L80.
Yeah, back and forth on that.
We'll have my trainee guy give me the best recommendation, which will handle
probably
the
gonna
abuse.
It's gonna be 700R4 because that's what he's stuck in his head, and that's what he wants. Yeah,
well,
and he wants it. We'll get it. This is my personal 67 C10 with an LS and a 4080. The frame, I could talk your ear off, but the frame's from Texas. It's got a lot of work done to it. We're gonna go ahead and fire this one up, and then we'll show you a little bit about it. I love this truck.
That's a sleeper.
I put so much of my own personality into it. How many phone calls do you think I made to you over the years on this one?
Quite a few.
When did you start this build?
2016. And I finished up 2 years later. Yeah, that's an LQ9 out of a 03 Escalade. This 2003 transmission with paired up to the 03 LQ9.
It's for sale.
Something's not right.
Why?
Some gloves?
No, I'm good. The battery's dead. My dad's just going to grab a jumper and we'll fire it up. Yeah, I put so much time and effort into this truck that it's just nuts. Like, I could just go on and on and on about it. Like, just look at the interior. This is a CST. Those are factory buddy bucket seats. The horn button's missing. Maybe everyone's like, I can do an LS swap for $5,000. Yeah, you can. It's just how good is it going to be? Yeah. Disc brakes or the front front. It's got hydro boost, so the braking in this thing is hard and fast, and it stops on a dime. Yeah, it's got hydro boost with Wallwood disc brake system in it. These lines cost me $500 to get made. The headers are Doug Thorley headers. I don't know what else to say. It's got a full stainless steel exhaust on it, front to back. Yeah. Frames is powder coated, I sandblasted and painted. I had to do the rockers, cap corners on it. I put a couple little patches in the floor, but other than that, this thing was pretty tight. Yeah, new steering wheel, new dash pad, radio works. Just, 67's a really special year. It's got one-off stuff for everything. Yeah, it's tilt steering column, which I really like for my big legs to get through. The buddy bucket's super cool. So much time and thought was put into this truck, I tell you. It's got a factory wood floor out of a 72 Chev. Oh, it's full of leaves now. Small back window. Had farmer lights on either side that obviously I removed. Paul's gonna rev it up for us. Oh yeah. This thing's got a nice exhaust on it. Yeah. Yep. And the worst part of the whole truck is that dent right here. Which there's no rod, it's just a big old dent. I bought this truck for $650 in 2016. And the headers were worth double that. Over double that. The frame is a 71 Chevy. The AC just needs the pump and the condenser hooked up and the AC would work. So I drove this truck out here in September of 2023 with the cab that you have for your short box in the back of the truck. It was right loaded down with parts. It was a really easy, long drive. It took 3 days to get out here. 3.5 days, right? Yeah. Of good driving. Just, you know, you're talking your 16-hour a day just driving. The truck came out here flawlessly. It was a bittersweet kind of feeling. But it was good. We get out here, we lift the box. Sorry, not the box. We lift the cab out of the back of the truck and we started assembling your short box. Yeah. So we had the big brother and the little brother right there. It was really cool. And the fully restored 69. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the Schelly Shop Christmas special. I had a lot of fun. I think Nicole did, coming out here, helping us get the vehicles up and running. We had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to say Merry Christmas, have a safe and happy holiday.
And thank you all for your continuous support with the likes, shares, and subscribes. It means the world to us both, so it's really cool seeing this kind of come into motion. We appreciate you all. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.